going to jump right into Libra. I apologize for this video being split up, but I was starting to have connection issues. I know that the power grid here is experiencing strain because everybody's running the air right now. Maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe it doesn't. Anyway, Libra, let's jump right into it for you, shall we? I just got one of those notifications too that ASMR content that is adult in nature or depicts fetishes is going to be banned from YouTube. So we'll see how they handle the glove videos, because I'm really not doing anything sexual in those videos. And in fact, I'd probably prefer it if people didn't see them as being sexual, so... Libra, here asked for you. We have the Judgment card showing up in the reverse. And this could indicate a time in your past where you were put through a trial, potentially a transformative event that would have helped you ascend to your next level, would have gotten you to the World card moment, where then you would begin the next new cycle. The Judgment card, thematically, we were talking about the Lover's card and the Temperance card as well. So kind of think about those as vignettes along the timeline that are interconnected when you think about the Fool's journey. In your current situation, Libra, we've got a choice. And I can see that not just because of this card that we have in the place of the significator, this being you, but it's reinforced by this juggler, the Two of Pentacles, down in the Imam Silai as well. The foundation that you're going to be building your future upon is based on this achievement of balance. This can also be a business partnership, a financial agreement between two people that are fairly evenly yoked in the situation, like borrowing $50 from your friend. Crossing the Two of Swords, we have the Strength card, and this card is Leo's card in the Major Arcana. This figure has infinite power represented above their head in the form of this lemniscat. That would be how the divine source sends power into their body. They are seen here closing the mouth of this lion. It's very difficult to tell how much force the person is using. Are they being playful? Are they being very gentle and just kind of stroking the lion's face to get it to close its massive jaws? That is the true strength of the Strength card, making it look effortless and like anyone could do it. So there might be a choice that you need strength to make. It could be the choice to be strong, which would create this balance. I can't believe my connection is still unstable. Well, I've done all I can do. I plugged in my Ethernet cable. If that doesn't work, it's just gonna have to be unstable. That's what I'm working with. So we already talked about the Imam Silai. Let's talk about your perspectives on the issue. what we have here is the Four of Wands. Sometimes I talk about this in the context of Gemini because you can see it kind of makes a Gemini symbol here. What the Four of Wands is really about is a time of celebration. This can be marriage, it can be graduation, it can be buying a new car, it can represent purchasing property, because we see here in the foreground this Ramada, and in the background this manor home. So talking about the four walls which surround us. And in the background, of course, revelers, guests at a party. Those cards showing up reversed for you in your current perspective, Libra. You don't see the signs and symbols around you of success for whatever reason. You don't see that reason to celebrate. Or you could be waiting on something also before you feel like you'll be ready to do these things, like buy a house or get married. You kind of feel like not ready for this party. And likewise, sometimes this is talked about in the context of 1111. So you could be actually not seeing very many things like angelic numbers or sigils or indications. You might not be seeing the signs or symbols. This is kind of frustrating. I mean, it seems like I was having problems with my reception earlier when I was on the phone. I'm not quite sure what that is about. I mean, I assume I'm still recording, so I'm going to continue and then I'll watch it back later and see what's up. Here, from an outside person's perspective, we have the sun, also reversed. So people around you see that there are wonderful things available to you. Everything's almost perfect, but there's something that's not quite as you would want it to be. With that sun in the reverse here. And people recognize that about your situation, that as good as it is, it's not perfect. Here in the future, oh good, it looks like we're back. So Libra, I often consider this your card in the minor arcana, the King of Swords, and can also act as an analog for the Justice card. So here in the current situation where you are developing this balance, you're going to continue to hone that with that King of Swords energy in the future. The King of Swords could be you, Libra. It could also be another air sign person or another very analytical person with which you are taking part in certain things. It could be a business agreement, for example. Could have had something to do with this choice as well. Here in your hopes and fears, you are hoping that something will return from the past. And that has to do with your perceptions of what is going on with your situation right now. That you feel like there's not really cause for celebration, or that you have to wait before you'll be able to purchase property or to take part in that celebration. So that perhaps something from the past might give you something to celebrate. But it's also kind of a wistfulness. You might be remembering things not as they actually were, but as you wanted them to be. So keep that in mind too, because people around you are recognizing about your existence that it's actually quite good. not totally perfect and not without its flaws, just like anyone else's life. But that these white flowers, right, they also represent purity. You might be trying to return to a purity that is no longer accessible to you, and that's okay. It just means that you are moving into this air of air energy. The Knight of Swords is much more ideologically pure than the King of Swords because he can't afford to be. He has to be able to navigate morally gray situations, which means that he has to be able to maneuver delicately and can't always be ideologically pure. Here in the midheaven, we have the Knight of Wands showing up reversed. So we have air of air energy with the King of Swords, very close to elemental air. This is very close to elemental fire. There's going to be some delays in something, either in achieving this balance. I don't think it has to do with these things. I'll tell you what I think, because I'll show you the final outcome card is the Nine of Pentacles. And what it's saying is this is available to you, Libra. But there's going to be some delays. And what has to happen first is this choice being made from a place of strength, this balance being achieved, this will make this possible, that celebration. And this possible. Those are all potentials for you right now, Gemini. There are things that you have to be able to, Libra. There are things that are available to you right now, Libra, but you have to be able to create this solid foundation on which you can build them. And that's kind of the idea here too, is that we're putting down a solid foundation in order to build the future. So that is going to conclude the Libra reading for this week. And I will be putting a timestamp for Aquarius down in the description box below on this video. But Libra will start right at the beginning of the video, so I won't bother with that. Likewise with the Gemini video, just really not too much of a reason to put timestamps on it. Alright, so now I'm going to move on to the sign of Aquarius, and I will be going, after this video, over to the member side of the channel and doing some crystal scrying. And I also, if the channel members show up during the live stream, I can do readings for them there as well. You're cordially invited, but of course, all of your views, likes, shares, subscriptions, ringing the little bell so you know when I'll be live, comments and live chat comments, and of course my channel members, all those things are so greatly appreciated. I'm also I'm going to be doing the Earth Signs live stream right after this one because tomorrow in the afternoon and evening I have plans. So Aquarius, if you would go ahead and allow any thoughts or ideas to rise to the forefront of your mind I see, I see. They should treat you niceies, Aquarius. All right, I am going to take down this timestamp. And then we can get started. Here in the past and in the upright, we have the Three of Wands. This card is about things returning to you from past energies. And I noticed this on my Oliver Hibbert deck, that this figure has something right along their back that looks like a tire track. On here you can tell that it's like a kind of sash or something like that. It looks like it's, or a stripe, maybe. Could be a stripe. Energies at this time are returning to you from the past, and generally I think that's a good thing. But as we are going to see in the place of the significator, it might be making things a little bit complicated right now. And the reason I say that is because we have the Three of Swords showing up, which is about discord, strife, arguments, breakups, just kind of bad blood between two people or between one person and others. This is crossed by the Queen of Pentacles. This could be the person that you're having these arguments with, potentially. Queen of Pentacles is water of earth energy. Fertile proliferation can be an earth sign person who is more receptive than active energy. Somebody who might be a little bit passive. But they could be somebody who's like a small business owner or an entrepreneur. That's also possible. That Queen of Pentacles energy is also about this slow rise that is gradual over time, the way that you grow crops. And those are your material resources. And then depending on what your crop is, let's say your crop is wine grapes, then you have to put in the additional processing into those grapes to turn them into wine, which takes quite a long time, really. So that there might be aspects of this that have developed over material resources and have developed over a long period of time. Down here in the Imam Sili, Aquarius, this is going to be the foundation upon which future events are built. We have the King of Wands reversed. This is a very harsh energy, Aquarius. This is air of fire energy. This could be how you're showing up in the situation. It could be how the other person is showing up in the situation. Or this could be a patriarch who has handed down very harsh edicts. Like it could even be somebody who's a boss who has a violent temper. It doesn't necessarily have to be you or like the other person in the situation. It could just be the environment that everyone's in, and it's causing strife for everyone. From your perspective, this is fellow fixed sign Taurus's card in the major arcana, and it is the Hierophant. So you, Aquarius, in typical fashion, are working to reject these traditional values. The Hierophant is somebody, additionally, who could be a spiritual leader, who acts as an intermediary between the higher power and the populace at large. And so in a corporate environment, the Hierophant could be middle management also. Um, doesn't necessarily have to be. And you're rejecting this corporate structure. So that's a possibility. From an outside person's perspective looking in, we have the Death card. And the Death card here is showing up reversed, that a transformation is primed to take place, but has not yet. Has not taken place yet. And actually, we see, so the Hierophant kind of shows up in reverse again right here, because he is the one who is bargaining with the higher power on this card, pleading perhaps for his own life, pleading for those who lie beyond in death's path, or perhaps pleading for the return of the mother so that the child won't have to grow up alone. However, this energy in the reverse is very much a potential and something perhaps that is seething right under the surface, but is being held back. And in your opinion, it's being held back by being too stuck and stodgy in old ways. But what it could be actually held up by is this overt and unnecessary aggression. The World card is showing up for you in the future in the reverse, Aquarius. So you actually show up on this card right here in the corner. This card is a potential energy at this time in that it will need to turn around upright for that ending to come in and be finalized. The Death card, additionally, could have a lot to do with this World card. These are both cards of endings. The Death card, in this case, implies that there is something that lies beyond the scorpionic energy. It's the difference between the point at which a cycle turns over and the point at which a cycle terminates, right? Because scorpionic energies are around the 8th house. The World card, this is a Saturnian energy and would have to do with your sign of Aquarius and also Capricorn. So a lot of fixed sign energies regarding these things that need to end. And potentially this is in a pushback. There's a lot of reactionary stuff going on here. The Three of Swords can be a very reactionary card. Likewise, the King of Wands reversed is a very reactionary card. Here in your hopes and fears, you could be afraid that this is going to affect future job prospects for you. That because people are working within this particular establishment, that people are working within this particular establishment, that not being able to put this on your resume or having people find out about it is going to be restrictive for you because you didn't want to do things the way that they wanted to do them. That just makes you an innovator, Aquarius. I'm sure you run into this all the time. This is not going to be that much different from a lot of the other scenarios you've been in throughout your life. Aquarius, here in the midheaven, this is going to be the result of this very volatile situation with that King of Wands in the reverse. We have a Page of Cups upright. So this is some kind of offer coming in for you, Aquarius. That fish can sometimes represent money in cartomancy systems, like in the Lenormand. Additionally, the Page of Cups is earth of water energy. So we're looking at making emotions manifest. Whereas the Page of Pentacles is manifesting material resources. When you're manifesting emotional resources, there can sometimes be material resources tied to that in the form of gifts, in the form of marriage, in the form of long-term relationships or good friendships, all kinds of things. The final outcome for you today, Aquarius, is the Devil. And it's showing up reversed. For some of you, this could be about your baser emotions controlling you and making you do things that you know are not right. But it could also be a reflection of this King of Wands energy showing up reversed. That would be somebody who's letting their impulse control ruin their life, right? And that's kind of what we see with the Devil here. So it might be you embodying that energy, Aquarius. It might be somebody that you're dealing with. It's going to have to change in order for things to move forward. For one, it's juxtaposed against this Death card. Additionally, we like to pretend that the things that our coworkers do don't have any impact on our own lives. But that's just purely not the case. Anytime you're working for somebody who is a loaded powder keg ready to go off about the tiniest little thing, you're putting yourself in a situation that has the potential to just implode on you at any minute. And it's not good. It's not good for you. That person who behaves that way is shortening their own lifespan considerably, not to mention the lifespans of everyone around them with that level of stress being perpetuated. And by continuing to work for that person, you're enabling that behavior in certain ways. So the better thing to do is when this offer comes in, make sure that you're evaluating it properly. That you are not putting yourself in a situation where you're going to be at the mercy of somebody like this and that behavior. Even a substance issue, all of those things have the potential to affect your employment if you are working with someone else who is dealing with that. Just something to consider. That is going to conclude your reading for this week, Aquarius. Some of these things were a little touch and go here and there, but I have confidence that by the end of the day today, everything will have worked out just fine. I am going to be recording the Earth sign tarot video later today. Right now, I'm going to be going over to the members side of the channel and doing some crystal scrying. And if any of the channel members come during that live stream, I will do readings for them if they so wish. I want to just tell you all how much I greatly appreciate your views and your support. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And until next time, I look forward to seeing you again very, very soon. Oh, thank you, Gabby the Sachi. I just saw your comment.